all for lesson 4, problem set. The only difference with this lesson today is that we're adding the tape diagram. This past week we've talked about if I had, look at B, if I had 2 divided by 3. What does that look like as a fraction? 2/3. If I wanted to draw a picture of that, how would that look?
Draw 3 boxes and wait. Yeah, draw 2 boxes to 3.
Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 boxes and divide it into 3 parts, right? That's what we've talked about. And then we found out that when you talk about a unit, you can take those two numbers and multiply them by each other. Remember yesterday we said that we could do 2 times 3 would be 6 over, what would it be? I don't know. It'd be 6. How many parts do we have? 6. Divide by what? 3. That's what our unit looks like. And that would equal, what's 6 divided by 3? 2 over 3. The only thing we're doing different today is we are going to take this and kind of just mush it all together. So you don't have to, like, if it says 20 divided by 46, you don't have to sit and draw 20 boxes with 46 in each. That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be ridiculous. So the new step today is very easy. You're going to do a tape diagram. So draw your tape diagram on your paper. And what what number are we dividing? Well, we're dividing by 3, but which one is being divided? 2 is being divided. So you're going to look at your first number. That's the number that's always on top. This whole thing right here is going to be worth 2. And what am I dividing that by? Okay, we're going to divide it by 3. So the question then is, what is 1 unit worth? And to find out what each unit is worth, you're going to take the 2 and what if we divide it by? Yep. You see how it works? If you want to find out how much this is worth, you have to take this and divide it by 3 so you know how much is in each one, right? I mean, we've done that a lot with our word problems that we've completed this year. So you're going to take the whole divided by how many parts? So what would our answer be then? What would the answer be? 3 divided by 3 is, chance? 2/3. Get the same answer. Now I want you to check your work. So one part of your assignment will be drawing the tape diagram. One part will be checking your work. How do I check my work?
Divide
Okay, so which goes in the box? 2 goes in the box. I didn't recalibrate my pen. How many times is 3 going to 2?
No time.
Okay, so that'd be 0. What's 0 times 3? 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. What do I do with my remainder? Okay, move it to the top, and your remainder is 2 thirds. Do we get the same answer? Now, how am I going to check my work? Because that is the third step. So each problem is going to be worth 3 points. Okay, 2/3 times 3, or 3 times, however you want to say it. And how would I solve that then? 3 times 2/3. Okay, but how, if I don't really know how to multiply these out, what have we been doing? Don't multiply. So, tell me how to do it without multiplying. Because we haven't talked about multiplying yet. We're getting there someday, I hope. Okay, so 2/3 3 times, or 2/3, what comes in between each? Okay, plus 2/3 plus 2/3 equals, what's that going to equal? Okay, 6/3 equals, how many times is 3 going to 6? Go ahead, Brianna, again. Okay, 2 times. Does my answer match the dividend in the box? Yes. Okay, I'll go through another one with you, and then I'm going to have you do the last one with a partner, your neighbor. We have on C, 7 divided by 5. How would that look as a fraction? 7/5. See, they even gave you a little line there to put on. If you're having a hard time, I don't write that large, and I was having a hard time last night cramming it all in when I was making the key. If you have a hard time cramming it in, could you attach a sheet of paper to this that shows your work? Yeah. You always want to attach your work when we're working on things like this, because I need to know how to help you. Now what do? I'm not going to draw the pictures anymore. I want to do the tape diagrams. How's that going to look, Anthony? Okay, I'm going to make my rectangle. And how much is that total box worth?
It's worth 5.
Is it worth 5? Huh?
7.
Okay, the whole thing's worth 7, because 7 is the number that I'm dividing, right? I'm breaking down the 7, not the 5. And now what do? Go ahead.
You divide the box into 6.
Divide it by 5 parts. See, and that's where you guys have to change your thinking. That's where we're kind of, and that's what I was telling Miss Kelly and Miss Manford this morning, that I've always taught you that if there's 5 boxes, that equals 1/5. But that's not what that equals in this case. In this case, each one of those equals something different. What does one of them equal? Does anyone know? Let's see how well you're listening.
1 unit?
It equals 1 unit. 1 unit is how much? Do you know? So in that case, what would it be? 1 unit equals 7, what? 7 divided by 5. So that no longer equals 1/5. You just gotta retrain your brains. If this didn't have the 7 above it, would that equal 1/5? But as long as there's a number up there, that means you're taking that number and you've divided that number into 5 parts. So my fraction then would equal 7 over 5, or what? Okay, 7/5, or how do I turn that into a mixed number?
1 and 2/5.
Good job. Wow, you just did that in your head. Nice. Don't forget we have to check it. So I'm going to have you check it with your partner to make sure we did it right. When I look at your papers, when I come around and look at them, I'm going to expect to see that you've checked it. And then start on D. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes, and then we're going to look at the chart on the next page. Some people are having a hard time knowing what goes in the box, what goes outside the box. Think about it this way, guys. On D, it says 14 divided by 5. Think about it this way. 14 divided by 5. Okay? When you say to divide by, draw the box. That way you know. Some people are also getting confused on this. They're saying, is this supposed to go inside or outside? Well, read this one to me, the top one. Okay, the top one says 14 divided by 5. What's this one say? This one? This says 14 divided by 5. That one says 5 divided by 14. They're two different problems. Okay, so if you're confused, read this out loud, and then read this out loud, and you'll see that this is not correct. If you say 7 divide by, that means you're dividing 7 by certain numbers, okay? That's what that means. Look at the next page. This one is really, really easy. You know how to do the first column. You know how to do the second column. You know how to do the fourth column. The only one that has changed is between which two whole numbers is your answer. If I have 55/10, solve it quickly. Someone raise your hand, tell me what that would equal. Okay, it'd equal 5 1/2, or 5 5/10. Then you can reduce it. The question is, between which two whole numbers is your answer? Which two whole numbers? Yeah, so it's between 5 and 6. It's not 5, it's not less than 5, it's not greater than 6, it's right in between the two. Okay, that's easy stuff. I'm going to go over a word problem with you, and then you'll be on your own. I'm pretty sure on the word problems tonight you're going to have to convert. How many feet are in 1 yard? 3 feet in 1 yard. go ahead and do number 4 on homework. Baba the black sheep has 7 pounds of wool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. If you separated the wool into 3 bags, each holding the same amount of wool, how much wool would be in 2 bags? So, how many total pounds does he have already?
7.
He has 7 pounds. Now, this is number 4, so make sure you're following along so you can get the points. He has 7 pounds. And how is he going to divide or separate the 7 pounds? Connor? Okay, so this is 7 pounds. Divide by now when I put, let's look at this. If I were to do this is another way you can look at it. If you guys are getting confused, this also says 7 divided by 3, and that says 7 divided by 3. The only difference is down below we're putting a picture this time instead of a number, but it's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. So we have 7 divided by 3. Each one holds the same amount of wool. So how do I find out how much goes in each one? How am I going to figure that out? Turn and talk to your neighbors. How are you going to figure that out? How do you turn that one into a mixed number? Okay, how much is each box worth? Not a third, but
7.
each box is worth 7. Well, this total thing is 7. Any other ideas? How do you know it goes in each box?
2 and 1/3 goes in each box.
Okay, how do you know that 2 and 1/3 goes in each box?
Because you have to divide 3 and 7. And 3 goes in 7 2 times. So your 100 is going to be 2 and 1/3.
So if I were to turn 7/3 or 7 divided by 3 into a mixed number, I would have 7 divided by 3 would be 2 and 1/3. So each bag holds 2 and 1/3 pounds of wool. But that's not the question. The question is, how much wool would be in 2 bags? This is it birdseed? That's not birdseed. I was like, that goes against the nursery rhyme that I learned as a child. You guys don't even know what nursery rhymes are anymore, probably. Yeah. We're animal rights now. We no longer do wool, we do birdseed. Okay, so each of these represents a bag. So how much would be in 2 bags? Turn and talk to your partner. Tell them the answer.
4 and 2/3.
Okay, 4 and 2/3, and how? What would that be reduced? Okay, number 19. What did you guys get? Okay, so how'd you do it? How'd you do it?
This is bag 2 and 1/3 plus 2 and 1/3.
Okay, since it's a word problem, how are we going to show that we're finished solving the problem?
You want to say the amount of wool in 2 bags is 4 and 2/3.
Okay, the amount of wool in the bags, or there will be 4 2/3, however you want to say it, just make sure you have a sentence. Okay, so we have some questions about it. If I were to, let's say that I go ahead and say this is 4 2/3 pounds. If I say this is 4 2/3 pounds, and the total is 7, if I subtract this, it should equal 2 1/3, right? Right? Or if I took 4 2/3 and added 2 1/3 to it, does that make sense? Yay? Nay? Are you sure? Okay, so it's subtraction. So how do I do that? I can't just take 2/3 from nothing. So what do?
You have to cross out the 7 and make it a 5 and add
Make it a
3/3.
Make it a 6.
And then you add 3 at the top because you're borrowing a whole because it's a foot wood.
And then you.
And then it's going to be 1/3. And then 6 times.
Does that make sense? So you just solve the problem like you do. This would be 7 pounds of wool divided by 3. Solve it just like you've done every night this week. And then that's how much each bag weighs. So if they ask you how many are in 2 bags, now you know.